Hi guys! This is my first attempt to upload my Haikyuu fanfic story, so I hope you will like it. The voiceover will be quite different from the video itself since it will be a narrating type of voiceover, so if you prefer to listen, it's fine, but if you're more of a reading type of person, you can just mute or volume off so you can read the story on your own.
Disclaimer, I do not own the Haikyuu characters that are to be used in this story. Photos or covers were picked from Google. Credits to the owner. A certain raven-haired boy was currently in the hospital, arranging a bouquet of flowers in a vase. His boyfriend, the orange-haired boy who depicted the sun as everyone describes, was admitted there due to some illness. "Nay, Kageyama-kun. How was everybody?" asked Hinata while looking out the window where you can see a sakura tree that was in full bloom, spreading a shade of light pink that complements the ray of sun that was about to set. "Fine, I guess. They're quite gloomy though. The sun wasn't there playing," replied Kageyama. "I see." He looked at his boyfriend and gave a smile. "You have to get well soonest, okay," Kageyama said as he seats on the nearby chair and caps Hinata's cheek, caressing it with much ardor. Hinata leans into the touch, savoring the sweet gesture of Kageyama. "I love you, Kageyama." "I love you too, Hinata. Visiting hours will be over in a few minutes. You have to go home." Hinata removed Kageyama's hand from his face and held it. "Can I stay a little longer?" asked Kageyama, wanting to stay at his son's side for longer. "No, you need to rest. You can see me tomorrow." Hinata shook his head in the process and gave his boyfriend his sweet adorable smile. Kageyama hugs Hinata tightly and kisses his forehead, saying, "The team will visit you early in the morning. Wait for me, okay? Hum. "I love you." "Love you too," replied Hinata as Kageyama leaves the room. But at that moment, Kageyama knows what tomorrow will bring for him after all. The following day as I walk inside the hospital to visit Shoyo. It's particularly cloudy and the hallway was quite gloomy today. When I reached the floor where Shao's room was located, everyone was rushing. "Code blue. Room 303, shouted the doctor. "Room 303. As I think, processing what I've heard. That is Shao's room." I run towards the room where nurses and doctors entered. I was about to enter the room when a nurse stopped me. "Sir, you cannot enter at the moment, please stay outside." "No, let me in." "Hinata," I shouted, trying to enter the room. "I'm sorry, sir. Please stay back," said the nurse with much authority, this time pushing me into the process of closing the door. Someone held me back and the nurse successfully closed the door where I saw a glimpse of Shao's face. "No, it can't be." As I slide to the floor, loosening the grip from someone. "Kageyama," a gentle voice calling me that broke my train of thought. As I look, I saw Sugawara-san and I just realized then that the team was there. Everyone was on edge. What happened?" I ask as I stutter, trying to grasp the situation unfolding in front of me. We were just talking when suddenly had a hard time breathing. And then, Daichi-san said, tears starting to flow down his face remembering what happened a while back. "Shri Hinata had a heart attack, I guess," Tsukishima added while avoiding eye contact. "I see," I replied, averting my gaze from everyone looking at the ground. We waited for the doctors to come out and gave us news, even though I already knew what it is. A few minutes passed by, which for us feels like hours. The door suddenly opens, and it gives a deafening sound. The nurse turns off the heart monitor. With a devastating look, the doctor said, "Time of death, 7:45 a.m. Then the doctor came to us and "I'm sorry for your loss." Everyone on the team broke down, crying. While I'm there, can't do anything. Tears start falling into my eyes. I stand up and come near to the bed where the body of Shoyo lies as if he was just sleeping. I kiss his forehead one last time as I whisper to him, "I'm so sorry, my son. I can't still save you." Timeline: 9th attempt, failed. Cause of death, heart attack. After the funeral, the team and I separate ways. I head to the school's rooftop where I saw Seika. "Ninth timeline is failed, again," Seika said. "It's the 9th time and yet you still have the same face," she added as I didn't reply. "You know, you can stop now, right?" I still have one last chance, I said, not looking directly at her. Indeed, you still have one, but what if it will be a failure again? Your main existence is on the line here, Uncle Toby. It's not just in the future or past or the specific timeline we are talking about here. Your whole existence in every timeline will be wiped out, Seika's outburst. She was too frustrated now. I fucking know that, Seika. And I don't care. What's the point of my existence if Shoyo wasn't by my side? I cried. I am too desperate right now. I'm so tired of repeating the cycle for 9th time now. It is a big thing, Uncle. There will be an empty void in everyone's life. Including the timeline where Uncle Sho remains alive, she said, toning down her voice in the process. Ha, why are you so worried about me? You do know you will also be wiped out if we failed, replying to her, making her quiet. I come near to the time machine that was located on the rooftop, on the further back of the machine opened where secret storage were put. What are you doing? You can't just remove some parts carelessly, Seika said as she snapped from her thoughts. Relax. I know this model. After all, I was the one who designed it with Shoyo. But not gonna lie, it was somehow modified by future Kozume-san, I said as I pull out a box. It's Karu-san, Uncle Toby. They are married, she said in an, as a matter of fact, tone. I chuckled, sorry. In my timeline that you crushed in, they are still in high school and both single. I walked near her, giving her the box. Go home. Huh. I genuinely smile, gesturing her to open the box. You can go home now. But, she looks at the box containing the mini time machine. The prototype of this time machine has an additional smaller time machine. So if ever there will be two pilots, they can be separated if they have to. But this one is a one-time thing and it has a single destination. It can't be changed, I said, meaning, its default destination is where the first place or timeline that the main machine were located and used, I added. How? Seika was confused. It's Shao's idea, I smiled while reminiscing the memories. As I seat beside Seika, Shoyo is a low-key smartass. He loves science. We can say, he loves it second to volleyball. And he believes in time travels and sorts. Being with him in a relationship, I wasn't able to grasp what he was doing. But I supported him. That is why in one of his experiments, he discovered that somehow I can travel in time through brainwaves or whatever. We made the draft of the time machine, and some coding, hacking of Kenma-san to make this prototype. And because of that, Uncle Sho died in the original timeline, Seika said. I replied, tears starting to flow again. And that results in the future timeline where I was born. It was fucked up, she said, lightening the mood. She's really Karu-san's daughter. I suddenly looked to Seika, oh please. Don't you ever use the F word in front of your mom, okay? She chuckles, I won't. So, how to use this? Just push that and it will start, I instructed as I point to the green button. She looked at me and said, don't be so reckless, Uncle Toby. I won't. Be careful, I replied, stepping a few feet away from her. See you in the future, Uncle Toby. And I hope with Uncle Sho this time, she said. I said, smiling as she pushes the button, and the mini time machine started to work and she disappeared. I went inside the time machine to set up my last destination. I took my phone and opened a file where I logged the timeline I went. I looked at the time machine and look at my phone again. Do you want to delete this file? I clicked the delete button, I have one last chance after all. I don't need to log it anymore. As I push a button on the machine, I mumbled, my son, I know you think I will not do any reckless. But I can't leave without you. Wait for me, okay? We will be together. As the machine start working, I closed my eyes as I pray, Kami-sama, this will be the first time I called for you. But please, let this last chance be a success. I was jolted awake by a ring of a bell, indicating the end of the day class. I took in my surrounding. I'm at our school. I immediately stands up and ran to the rooftop. When I reached the rooftop, I didn't see the time machine. I came near to the space where it usually is and tried to touch it since the machine can be invisible. Nothing. I get anxious since the machine wasn't there. Then I suddenly remembered. Hinata. From the rooftop, I ran to his classroom. He's not there. Then I ran to the gym. I hear a ball slamming the gym floor, and as I open the door, I saw him. Orange hair that sways with the wind. His posture doing his serve. When he looked at me, his sunshine smile plastered on his face. Bakayama, you're late. Did you sleep in? He said. Ha ha ha, your hair, Kageyama, as Tanaka-san snickers. I was just looking at my son. So desperately want to hug him. With dread, I ask what? What date today? Date, asked by Tanaka-san confusingly. Did the king bang his head while he's asleep? Tsukishima snickers. Hinata walked towards me, closing the distance, and replied, November 27th, as he fixed my hair. I look at him with longingness. My tears started to fall again as I look at my son. He wipes my tears and gave me a very confused look. I hugged him so tightly as I cried loudly. Our teammates were taken aback by my sudden outburst. But my son, even his so confused, comforted me. Miss me that much, Kageyama-kun, he says. I nod, Had a bad dream. I hugged him tight. I missed him so much, A very bad one. It's okay, I'm here, he said with a calming tone that I so much missed hearing. When I calmed down, we proceed to practice and end it after an hour. Kageyama and Hinata walked together going home, holding hands. When they reached the crossroad where they usually separates, Kageyama holds Hinata's hand tightly. Even though he thinks he's in the right timeline now, he can't forget those sufferings he had these past few months. He is still scared of the possibility that Hinata will leave him. Is everything okay, Kageyama-kun? Hinata asks to break the silence. Kageyama looked at their hands and said, I just missed you so much. Chuckles, you became weird all of a sudden, Kageyama. We've been together since early in the morning, Hinata said, chuckling. I know. I love you, Hinata. I love you too, Kageyama, Hinata said, tiptoeing and kissing Kageyama on his lips, which took Kageyama by surprise. Bye, Kageyama. See you tomorrow, Hinata said, ending the kiss. Kageyama sees Hinata ride his bike and pedal away. As he was about to walk towards the road going to his house, Hinata stops and shouted, Tobio-kun. Kageyama stops in his track. When he's about to face again the orange head, he realized what Hinata called him. His eyes widened. Hinata never calls him by his first name early in their relationship. For all those timelines he got, aside from the original, this is the first time he hears his lover call him by his first name. You, Kageyama said, shocked by the sudden revelation. Welcome home, Tobio, Hinata shouted again. At that moment, he knows. He knows that his son knew what happened to him. He started to cry, but this time for relief and joy. He's on the correct timeline. Final attempt, success. I'm home, Kageyama replied. 3 days before November 27th. I was cleaning my room when I saw a dusted blue box. I just bought this box yesterday, how come it's here and full of dust? I thought. I opened the box and saw a bunch of papers and an envelope on top. I opened the envelope and read it. Dear self. Okay, this is weird. I'm writing to my old self. Wait, is it my old self or future self? I got lost in this. But anyway, it should be me. I was baffled by the introduction of this letter as I thought. Weird. I didn't remember that I wrote something like this, but this is my handwriting. I continue to read the letter. If you found the box and read this letter, it means that the original self, which is me who is writing this, was already dead in the original timeline. I was horrified by what I read. Dead. First thing first, if you read this on the 24th day of November, exact date, it reaches the correct destination, you can proceed to the second page. If not, don't read any further, just burn everything immediately, including the box. How did I know you'll follow the instruction? Simple, you or me. Fair point. I look at my calendar just to make sure of the date. I proceed to read on the second page as instructed. Go to your secret hideout and open your computer, then search the file 20XX1127 final. I follow what the letter says. When I reached my hideout, I immediately open my computer and search for the file folder showing a bunch of videos. I played it and it's a record of myself. Hi, so if you see this, it means that the time travel that we studied and created was correct. And because of that, we received some death threats this past few days due to our little discovery regarding time travels and all. Which leads to my death. We already both know how it became a success, right? So yeah, I just created this video for our Tobio. He'll attempt to find the other timeline where we stayed alive. No way, it's quite a dangerous attempt. I thought, you're already thinking it's dangerous. Well, it is. But Tobio is Tobio. He'll try everything just to save you, us. If he tried to use the time machine, he only has 10 chances, including the original timeline. If he failed, His whole existence will have vanished, as I and the person in the video said at the same time. I also put some other videos in this file folder that may give you some ideas about this timeline of where I've been. One advice, myself. Wipe everything out after you watched this video. Forget everything. Have a simple life with Tobio. Be happy for me. Sayonara. The video ends, and I watched some other videos in the file. After that, I erased everything and burns the files regarding the time machine that we created. 3 days have passed since I watched the video. I was in the gym, practicing my serve. Everything was normal. Well, actually, not everything. Kageyama is running late this time, I thought. When the gym door opens revealing Kageyama. Bakayama, you're late. Did you sleep in? I said. Ha ha ha. Your hair, Kageyama, Tanaka-san snickers. What date today? He says as if he's worried or something. Date? Asked by Tanaka-san confusingly. Did the king bang his head while he's asleep? Tsukishima snickers. I walked towards him, closed the distance, and replied, November 27th, as I fix his hair. Tears started to fall in his eyes, then all of a sudden he hugged me tightly. Ah, this idiot from the original timeline. He seriously tried to find or save me. When we walk home as we reached our separate ways, and he held my hand tightly. Is everything okay, Kageyama-kun? I asked to break the silence. Kageyama looked at our hands and said, I just missed you so much. You became weird all of a sudden, Kageyama. We've been together since early in the morning, I said chuckling. I know. I love you, Hinata. I love you too, Kageyama, I said tiptoeing and kissing Kageyama on his lips, which took him by surprise. Bye, Kageyama. See you tomorrow, I said, ending the kiss. I rode my bike and headed home. I know Kageyama was still anxious even though he knows he's on the correct timeline. Wait, does he know it's already a correct timeline? I stop on my track and then look in the direction of Kageyama. Since I want him to be at ease, I shouted, Tobio-kun. He slowly looked at me with wide eyes. Surprised I called him by his first name this early in our relationship thanks to the video you shared other self, ha ha ha. He said as I cut him out, welcome home, Tobio. I gave him my sweetest smile. And he returned it with his smile, not the creepy one of course. The smile expresses relief and joy accompanied by tears. What a crybaby. Ha 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 ha, I thought. I'm home, he replied.
When I dropped the plot twist of this one shot, I suddenly thought that I gave a Steins Gate vibes here. So, if you like it, consider subscribing by clicking the subscribe button and the notification icon to be updated with the latest videos. Ja, mata ne!